So it is not important that how many participants have joined.
Sir, even if we change the time, people will not come.
Yeah.
Only the interested people will come.
Okay, correct.
Yes.
But our efforts will be continued.
Yes, sir. Yes.
1 minute only, because
Yes, come back again. Hello. Please introduce yourself, Kunal. Hello, Kunal.
Kunal, I think there is an internet problem so that he cannot speak.
Yes.
Okay. So let us continue.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Acharya sir, please continue.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, am I audible?
But your video is off.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Let us again start with pioneers in microbiology in India. We all know that microorganisms are very tiny entities and they are omnipresent as God. And by knowing them as a living entity, one can explore the knowledge of higher living forms, from boiling thermal hot springs to deep beneath the Antarctic ice. Microorganisms can be found almost everywhere, as we know, on air, on each and every surfaces on Earth in great quantities. Microorganisms are small, but they cannot be seen with naked eyes, and that's why we have to use microscopes to observe them. From the humble understanding and usage of microbes for curd, cheese, and wine making, or any other, they have reached a stage where human health seems to be dependent on their contribution to our metabolic pathways. From the 16th century onwards, many hypotheses had been framed as they were microbes flourished and spread. Microbiology Society was established in the year 1996 in the month of March and registered in the month of November in year 1996 in Satara, Maharashtra, India. Any person graduates in life sciences and interested in microbiology can enroll as a member of Microbiology Society, and the details we can share on social media. I, Dr. Rachna Shukla, Assistant Professor, with immense pleasure and privilege, welcome you all in the interactive session on pioneers in microbiology in India. We will start with the prayer. I think it is not audible. Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada satrubuddhi vinashaya deepajyoti namosute. So let us move ahead. I would like to give a short introduction about SPET, that is Sardar Patel Education Trust. It is a team of enthusiastic, young, dedicated, and innovative teachers. The institutions running under the trust continue to grow, and they have craved a niche for themselves within the span of their existence. The Trust mission is to equip the young boys and girls, researchers, and students with versatile development for their personalities and making them strong morally as well as emotionally, spiritually, and physically. About the institute, that is B.N. Patel Institute of Paramedical Science, was established in the year 2010 for reinventing healthcare education and to render career opportunities in allied health. Our institute provides various medical and academic facilities. Yes, sir. B.N. Patel Institute provides finest education in paramedical health science in India, and hereby we help students to spread their wings and strengthen their theoretical as well as practical knowledge in respective fields of specialization offered by our institute. I would like to welcome our honored and obliged on behalf of the Institute to invite our eminent speaker, Dr. Swaranjit Singh, Director of SAS Free Polyclinic Perch, Punjab. I'm also beholden and grateful to welcome the Chief Patron for today's session, Dr. A.M. Deshmukh, who is the President of Microbiology Society, India, and Shri B.N. Patel, Sir, Managing Trustee and Secretary of SPET, who is not present due to his busy schedule. I'm also enlightened to welcome patrons for the session. Dr. D.K. Acharya, Sir, Assistant Professor of B.N. Patel Institute of Paramedical Science. Welcome you all. And to begin with the session, I would like to invite Dr. Swaranjit Singh. Welcome, Sir, Director of SAS Free. Over to you, sir. We can start the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. The first pioneer in microbiology today is Dr. C.O. Karunakaran. He was born in 1892 and lived till 30 November 1970. He specialized in medical microbiology. He is regarded as the dawn of medical mycology in India. He was born in the Indian state of Kerala. He was son of A.P.U. Kunju Chanar and Kunju Pennu Chanati. His elder brother, C.O. Mahadevan, was the chief secretary and mayor of Trivandrum. He had his initial schooling in the government high school. After the intermediate in Maharaja's College, Ernakulam, he joined Madras Medical College for Bachelors of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Following his study in Madras Medical College, he completed DTMH, DPH, and DV from the University of Cambridge and University of London. He worked for a short period as the medical officer of an estate and then as the health officer of Trivandrum. Later, he took over as the superintendent of public health laboratory near Civil Hospital, presently Trivandrum General Hospital. Sir C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, realizing his ability sent him to the US for industrial training. When he returned, he improvised the laboratory, and in 1948, he was appointed as the special officer for establishing the first medical college in the state of Travancore, Kochi at Trivandrum. With his efforts, the plans of construction of the Government Medical College, Trivandrum, was finalized in 1 year, and construction of the college completed in just 16 months. He was appointed as the first principal of Government Medical College, Trivandrum, and professor of microbiology. Realizing his dream for getting maximum international exposure to the students of the college, WHO, at his request, sent the then Director Health Service of Sweden, Dr. Alex J. Hojer, as an expert. Dr. C.O. Karunakaran then stepped down as principal and gave the principal position to Dr. Hojer of Sweden and continued as vice principal. He was also instrumental in bringing many international experts, including Dr. Alexander Fleming, to the college. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. He has also served as a member and Dean of Senate and Syndicate of the University of Kerala. He had been the chairman of Travancore Medical Council and president of Indian Medical Association from 1958 to 1959. He was awarded the Rajya Seva Nirata Award, considering his contribution to the country. The first voicing for family planning in India was by Dr. C.O. Karunakaran in his famous speech in 1925. In the year 1957, he himself was behind the family planning drive started in Kerala and was the chief advisor of State Family Planning Board and Family Planning Communication Research Project. Now we come to the second pioneer of India, Padma Shri Nateri Veera Raghavan. He was born on 1st November 1913 and he lived till 6th August 2004. He also specialized in medical microbiology. These were the real pioneers of India in medical microbiology, general microbiology, and so on. Indian physician, microbiologist, and medical researcher known for his contributions to the understanding of disease like rabies, tuberculosis, and leprosy. He was a former director of the Pastures Institute of India, Kunur, and the chairman of the WHO International Reference Center on Rabies. He was honored by the Government of India in 1967 with Padma Shri. He was born in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, on 1st November 1913 to Nateri Venkatesa Iyer, and mother was Bala. He introduced in medicine. He graduated also in medicine in MBBS Cheer from Andhra University in 1936 and did his senior internship at the Government Medical College, Chennai in 1937. His career started as a research officer at the Pasteur Institute of India at Kunur in 1937, and he became assistant director of the institute in 1941. While working in that position, he secured a doctoral degree, DSc, in microbiology from Andhra University. He was a hardcore medical microbiologist. In 1947, he was made the director of the institute, a post he held till his retirement in 1972. Post-retirement, he served as the director of the Vector Control Research Center, Pondicherry, from 1975 to 1977, and as the director of the Voluntary Health Service Medical Center from 1977. He was member of the Indian Council of Medical Research from 1945 to 1981 and sat on the expert panel of the WHO on rabies in 1953, 1956, 59, 65, and 1972. He was the vice chairman of the panel in 1953 and the chairman in 1959. He also served as a member of the Indian chapter of the WHO Influenza Center from 1959 to 1972 and the Armed Forces Research Committee from 1967 to 1972. One of the founding members of the Indian Academy of Medical Sciences, present-day National Academy of Medical Sciences. He has got many patents for his research, and his research findings have been documented by way of several publications, like Studies on Leprosy, Studies on Leprosy Supplement 3, In vitro cultivation of Mycobacterium leprae, an improved medium, fluorescent antibody staining of rabies, virus antigens using lysamine, rhodamine, B200, and fluorochrome. The value of 5% sample vaccine in human treatment, comparative mortality among the treated and untreated. A rapid method for cultivation of Mycobacterium tuberculosis and improved medium. Veera Raghavan was a recipient of S.A. Poonawalla Memorial Award for outstanding contributions, Indian Academy of Vaccinology and Immunology. He was honored by the Government of India with the Civilian Award of Padma Shri in 1967. He died at the age of 90 on 6th August 2004. Now we come to the third pioneer in microbiology, Dr. M. J. Tirumalchar. He was born on 22nd September 1914 and he lived till 21st April 1999. He specialized in mycology, microbiology, plant pathology. He was born in Bangalore as a second child of Professor M. J. Narasimhan and Srimati Venga Damal in the family of high erudition and scholarships. His great grandfather, J. Tirumalchar Swami, was a great scholar of great eminence in Sanskrit. Tirumalchur got his name from the fact that he was born on the same day as the birthday of his illustrious saint great grandfather. After early schooling in Mahaleshwaram, a neighborhood of Bengaluru, he graduated from the Central College, Bangalore, before earning a Doctor of Science from the University of Mysore in 1944 and moved to the University of Wisconsin, USA, from where he secured a PhD in 1948, working under the supervision of Dr. James Dixon. On his return to India, he served at the Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, as the head of Department of Mycology and Plant Pathology, and at the Central College of Bangalore. Subsequently, he joined Central Potato Research Institute, Patna, as the chief plant pathologist, but moved to HAL, that is Hindustan Antibiotics Limited, where he headed the R&D division. He served out of his regular career at HAL, retiring as the Superintendent of Research in 1975. Later, he returned to the US and served as a professor at the Department of Pediatrics at the University of Minnesota, USA Medical School, where he worked on the incorporation of human insulin gene in yeast cells, and also had a short stint as a visiting scientist at the Danish Institute of Seed Pathology, Copenhagen. In 1979, he founded Anderson G. Sanidhi Institute along with his son for advanced research in mycology and plant pathology, and was the director of this institute, JA Institute, till the end of his life. His family produced 4 notable mycologists: M.J. Narasimhan, father; M.J. Narasimhan Jr., son; and M.C. Srinivasan, nephew, besides himself. He spent the last 2 decades of his life in Walnut Creek, California, USA, and it was here he died on 21st April 1999 at the age of 84. His researches spanned across various disciplines of science such as botany, mycology, microbiology, antibiotics, and chemotherapy. First of his several discoveries were in 1943 when he identified a species of rust. He was the first scientist, along with N.J. Narasimhan and Charles Gardner Shaw, to describe the genus Sclerothora, which he published as an article. 10 years later, he described another genus, George Fischeria, a genus of fungi named after the renowned mycologist Professor G.W. Fisher in 1953. He proposed a morphological method for characterizing 2 genera of fungi and discovered 2 other genera, both named after his father, M.J. Narasimha. 2 of his other species discovered were fungi, and they were identified as Ravenella esculenta as the causal factor for malformations in Acacia ebonea. Overall, he published the presence of 30 new genera and 300 new species of fungi. During his days at Hindustan Antibiotics Limited, he focused on medical mycology and plant disease control. As the head of the Research and Development Division, he led a team of scientists who developed a number of antibiotics, including anti-amyobin and antimicrobial polypeptide that has reported use as a carrier, as a pore-forming peptide ball, and a deworming agent, and as a yield enhancing supplement in dairy and poultry industries. Antifungal antibiotics which he made were hamicin, dermostatin, ariofungin, Mic4, tetraeninin are some of the other products developed by him. He also has a number of US patents, several of them for processes he jointly developed with his father and son. He was one of the founders of Mycological Society of India, served as its first vice president, and was the lifetime member of the society. He founded Hindustan Antibiotic Bulletin, the official journal of Hindustan Antibiotic Limited, and was the first editor and publisher. He was the president of Indian Phytopathological Society in 1956 and was the chief editor of Indian Phytopathology and Applied Microbiology, the official journal of the society in 1957. He was involved with the International Journal of Antibiotics as a member of its editorial board and served on the council of the Indian National Science Academy during 1969 to 71. He was member of the Mycological Society of America as well as Indian Microbiological Society and chaired the agricultural section of the 37th Indian Science Congress held in Pune in 1950. The Indian National Science Academy elected him as their fellow in 1956. INSA honored him again in 1967 with Sundarlal Hora Medal. The CSIR awarded him Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar Prize in 1967. He was also elected Fellow of Indian Phytopathological Society, New York Academy of Sciences, and Mycological Society of India, and a recipient of the Polish Academy of Sciences Medal. The Indian Institute of Science organizes a lecture in his honor every year. Mycological Society of India has instituted an award, Dr. M.J. Tirumalchar Merit Award for young scientists for promoting research excellence in mycology. Now we come to the last pioneer of India in microbiology. His name is Brahm Shankar Srivastava. He was a very famous scientist. I met him a couple of times in Lucknow and also in Jorhat in Assam. He was my PhD guide's very good friend. So I went to do electron microscopy in his lab in Lucknow. He was born on 1st June 1943 and he lived till 2021. Professor B.S. Srivastava was born in Uttar Pradesh, earned his graduate degree from the Banaras Hindu University and continued his study in BHU to get his master's and doctoral degrees. Most of his academic career was spent at Jawaharlal Nehru University, where he became a professor and a founder chair of the Center for Biotechnology. He moved to the CDRI Lucknow, where he headed the Division of Microbiology and served as the Deputy Director of the Institute. In 2012, along with Ranjana Srivastava, who is also from Lucknow, he founded the Biotech Research, a not-for-profit research platform for promoting research in biotechnology. In between, he served at the number of universities which included Brown University, University of Maryland, Pastures Institute of Delhi, University of Ancona, Banaras Hindu University, and Mizoram University in the Northeast India. Srivastava's research covered the discipline of microbial genetics, and he has done extensive studies in Vibrio cholera. He developed bacterial mutants which have applications in vaccine development, and he held a patent for his work. He was associated with the Indo-US Vaccine Action Program as a member and traveled with the Indian delegation on biotechnology, which visited the US and China. He got number of honors and awards. The CSIR awarded him Shanti Saru Bhatnagar Award in 1984. This is the highest award of India. He received the Om Prakash Bhasin Award in 1995. Government of UP honored him with Vigyan Ratna Samman in 2002. He is elected fellow of National Academy of Sciences, India, and the American Academy of Microbiology. The award oration delivered by him include Dr. Nitya Anand Endowment Lecture of the INSA in 1991 and Dr. Y.S. Narayanan Rao oration of the Indian Council of Medical Research in 1993. That is all for today. Thank you. Dr. Rachna.
Yes,
Yes.
very thanks. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to request Dr. Dhawal Acharya for giving vote of thanks.
1 minute, please.
Yes. Yes.
Before vote of thanks, Dr. Acharya is going to show the sample memento which we are distributing to all scientists.
Yes.
And these few mementos are already he has prepared.
Okay.
So work has been started. Second thing, before ending it, really very good review of eminent scientists of India which have contributed in the development of microbiology in India. Among all these four, Dr. Thirumalachar, I know some story of Thirumalachar. The reason is that in 1980, I registered for PhD and my guide given me the topic on actinomycetes. Actually, other peoples were reluctant to take actinomycetes. The reason was actinomycete was considered as a fungi at old time.
Yes, they are filamentous bacteria.
Filamentous bacteria. And microbiologists were reluctant to work on filamentous bacteria.
Right.
My guide told me this topic is neglected, you work on it. And I started working on actinomycetes. And as Dr. Swarnajit Singh rightly told that, Thirumalachar was working in Hindustan Antibiotic Pune. And when I was working for PhD in actinomycetes, at that time Thirumalachar was in Delhi. He was not there. I never met him. But the scientist from Pune told me the story about, and I am tempted to tell you the story of Dr. Thirumalacharya.
Yes, sir.
Thirumalacharya, while screening the fungi, his main work was in fungi, as Dr. Swarnajit Singh has already told. But he found one actinomycetes which is different from the normal actinomycetes. And it was exactly like streptomyces, but having sporangium.
Okay.
And he screened it from soils of Pune University. And he published papers, and he was claiming that he was requesting that it should be considered as a separate genera.
Okay.
But at that time, Waxman was very active. And Waxman was a boss in actinomycetes. And in every conference, Waxman was rejecting the proposal, telling that we can give a status of species of streptomyces, but we cannot create a separate genera having the sporangium. Other features were like streptomyces. Later on, people told me Waxman died, and when Waxman died, in the next conference on actinomycetes, Global Conference of Actinomycetes, this species was converted in China. And then new genera, still you go on in Burgess manual, new genera China of actinomycetes is on the name of Thirumalacharya.
I see.
So that is a beautiful story of
very good story.
Actinomycetes.
Did this actinomycetes make antibiotic?
Yeah.
It made. I see.
Yeah. So it is described in Burgess manual.
Most of the actinomycetes, they make antibiotics.
Correct.
Very
so
good.
That is the story, nice. And I was tempted to tell this story.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you. Dr. D.K. Acharya, you can proceed.
Actually, this is the purpose of our pioneer microbiologist.
Correct.
So we can find out the various memories and old things. So correct. We can collect all this data and move for the documentation in the form of the book.
Let me tell a short thing about B.S. Srivastava.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
I was working on the metabolism of hydrocarbon, which is not having oxygen. And this hydrocarbon are petroleum hydrocarbons. They were degraded by bacteria, Pseudomonas and Bacillus. So my guide wanted to take the electron micrograph, which we were not having in RRL Jorhat, which is a CSI laboratory. So he contacted Dr. B.S. Srivastava, his good friend. He said, Swaranjit is doing a very good work on pollutant degradation, that is hydrocarbon pollutant. I want to get EM of those hydrocarbon inside the bacteria. He said, you send him today to Lucknow. Of course, I did not go same day. I went after 2 days to Lucknow from Jorhat in Assam, and he helped me take beautiful EM micrographs in the year 1986. I'm not talking about 20 or 21 or 22. In the year 1986, I took beautiful EM photographs, scanning electron, which I published in my thesis. And we published 2 papers in a very good journal of that time, known as Biotechnology and Bioengineering.
Yes.
The top journal of that time. In
yes. Right, sir.
So this is the help I got from Dr. Srivastava. And great. Every evening he was taking me to his house for dinner.
Great. So
great gentleman.
You are the lucky person.
Yes.
So you met some pioneer person who worked for our subject and the development.
Yes.
So in the last webinar also you shared some memories.
Yes.
Upasni sir is also there. Sir, you would like to say something? Upasni sir.
I think Dr. Upasni want to speak something.
Yes.
Oh, Upasni sir, you can speak.
Yes, good evening. It was nice to have today's session, and I thank the organizers for organizing such a wonderful event. And I wish that more microbiologists participate in such events. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, before going to vote of thanks, I would like to introduce the memento for our pioneer workers, which we distributed. Will distribute to the pioneer persons. Whether they are live or dead, if the deceased fellows are there, then we will definitely provide this memento to the family person. So please see, this is the memento we prepared over here, if you can see. So there is a, just a wait, sir.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Excellent memento. Acharya sir,
Yes, sir.
from next time, you show picture of this memento at the
Sure.
beginning.
Sure,
Okay?
definitely, sir, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay.
So proceed for vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Respected invited today's eminent speaker, Dr. Swarnajit Singh, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your memories with the pioneer persons, as well as the providing the great opportunity to organize such a beautiful event, that is a pioneer microbiologist of India, who ultimately gave the present the state over here in the India. I would also like to thank the president of the Microbiology Society India, Dr. A.M. Deshmukh sir, for giving me the opportunity, as well as the organizing such a beautiful activities, which ultimately responsible for the gathering the information data. On the basis of this data, we are going to publish a book within a short span once we collected all the data. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to thank my own organization, Dr. And the president of our organization, Dr. B.N. Patel, as well as the Dr. Arpita Arora, the group director of B.N. Patel Institute of Paramedical and the Science. I thank you very much, sir and the madam, for giving the opportunity for the organizing such a beautiful event. I would also like to extend my vote of thanks to Dr. Rachna Shukla, Assistant Professor, Gandhinagar University, for the handling all the webinar beautifully and hosting this session. Thank you very much, madam. I would also like to extend my vote of thanks to the senior fellows who joined over here, like Vivek Upasni sir. Thank you very much. All the participants over here. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.
And we thank you, Dr. Acharya,
Thank you
for
very much.
conducting the session so well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.